Today's information session is meant to help demystify the CSU and UC applications and transfer processes. We'll be discussing important dates and deadlines, financial aid, how to apply, and where to go and who to see if you need help. Let's take a moment to reflect on all that you've achieved to get to this point. Perhaps you took AP courses in high school to get a head start in your college courses, or changed your major a couple times before you found the right fit. Maybe you've had to juggle working and going to school at the same time. Whatever your path has been, you are here now. You're making the next big step in your educational journey, and you should feel proud to be at this point. Applying can be exciting, but some students may find it stressful or a bit daunting. It may seem like there's a lot of pressure to say and do what's right in the application process. That's what we're here for. We're here to support you and provide you with resources and knowledge to help you complete your transfer process with confidence. Some of the ways we can assist are listed here at the bottom of the slide, but we'll go into detail throughout this presentation as well. Before we move on, we want to acknowledge the importance of finding your community on campus prior to beginning your studies there. Finding your community will give you a sense of belonging and connection to your new campus. In turn, this will make you more comfortable, not just in your college environment, but also with asking for assistance when needed and navigating the supports and resources available to you as a student. Perhaps you already have a community you participate in at Sierra. It's likely that your transfer university has a similar program, center, or club. You can always check out a university's website to see what they offer, but we are happy to help you research this as well and connect you with these communities if you would like assistance. You might also consider reaching out to the admissions representatives of the universities you're interested in to request information on what they have available. As you're deciding which universities to apply to, it's important to consider the minimum upper division transfer requirements. For CSU, you must have at least a 2.0 GPA to be eligible for transfer. However, requirements may differ for non-local, non-resident, or international students, so it's important to connect with your counselor to ensure you're meeting the minimum qualifications. Students must also have at least 60 CSU transferable units. If you're not sure whether your units are transferable or not, we recommend checking out assist.org. Assist.org has many helpful functions, so we've linked the website here. Next, from those 60 units, 30 of them must be from the CSU GE requirements or IGETC. If you're not familiar with those general education patterns, we've linked them here as well for your convenience. And then there's the Golden Four, or the critical courses that are required for oral communication, written communication, critical thinking, and quantitative reasoning or mathematics. Usually this is a student's COM class for their oral requirement, English 1A for their written, English 1B or 1C for critical thinking, and then a math course above Math 10. There are other courses that satisfy these requirements as well, but these are the most common. See your counselor for appropriate course selection and completion deadlines. Keep in mind that impacted majors and campuses may have additional requirements. Okay, now on to only UC minimum upper division transfer requirements. To be eligible to transfer to UC, a student must have at least a 2.4 GPA. However, like the CSUs, this may differ for non-local, non-resident, or international students. You will also need 60 UC transferable units. Again, we recommend assist.org to check out the transferability of your courses. From those 60 units, you'll need 4 courses from at least 2 of the following IGETC areas: Arts and Humanities, Social and Behavioral Sciences, Physical and Biological Sciences. Although completing the entire IGETC pattern is highly recommended for most majors, not all UC campuses or majors, some science and engineering, recommend or will allow you to follow IGETC. See your counselor for appropriate course selection. As for critical courses, we call these the Big Three for UCs. Students need at least 2 transferable college courses in English composition and at least 1 in mathematical concepts and quantitative reasoning. And of course, impacted majors and campuses may have additional requirements for the UC system as well. Now let's jump into impaction. Impaction occurs when there are too many students applying versus seats available in the program or university. You might also hear the terms selective or capped, which are terms typically used by the UC system. You can check out the university's website or meet with your Sierra counselor to find out if your major is impacted at the universities you'd like to apply to. We just shared what impaction means for the universities, but now let's go into what this means for you as a student. Typically, if you're applying to an impacted major, you have additional transfer requirements. This can include a higher GPA, specific major prep courses, and oftentimes a supplemental application. Your counselor will be able to assist you in preparing for these. Now that we've discussed the eligibility requirements for CSU and UC, we'd like to share some information about paying for college. But before we dive into it, know that most students are eligible for some type of financial aid. All right, when looking at estimated costs of attendance, keep in mind these numbers of course include tuition, campus fees, books and supplies, but they also include housing, food, transportation, and miscellaneous costs for an entire year. So try not to let these large numbers scare you too much. Okay, so attending a CSU costs between approximately $20,000 to $36,000, and UC costs between $40,000 and $42,000 per year for California residents. These numbers do increase quite a bit for international, non-local, and non-resident students. When it comes to calculating the cost to you as a student, we use this formula here. The total cost of attendance minus the gift aid provided by the federal government, state, or university equals the portion you will have to pay. When it comes to financing your education, it is a partnership between you, your parents if you're dependent, and the university. First, students are expected to cover part of the cost of attendance through working and borrowing. Parents are also expected to contribute financially for students considered dependents under the federal definition for education. Their expected contribution is based on their financial resources and circumstances, as reported on the FAFSA or California DREAM Act application. And lastly, the university will cover the remaining cost with gift aid from federal, state, and other gift aid programs. So some of the types of aid include grants, which are given by the federal government, state, or university as a gift. There's loans, which is money given to a student for now, but must be repaid with interest later. There's scholarships, which is gift aid usually given for academic achievement, but are given out for a variety of other reasons. These can be given by the university or by private foundations. And work study, which are student employment programs that allow you to work at the university to help pay for your education. So if you are wondering if you are dependent, there are some questions that you can answer. So are you over the age of 24? Are you married? Have you had children or other people, excluding your spouse, who live with you and receive more than half of their support from you? Are you currently serving in the military or a military veteran? Were you an orphan at any time since age 13 with no biological or adoptive parents? Were you a ward of the court at any time since age 13? Were you in foster care at any time since age 13? Are or were a legally emancipated minor? Or are you or were in legal guardianship with someone other than your parent or step parent? If you answered yes to any of the above, you are an independent. But if you answered no to every question, you are dependent for federal student aid purposes, regardless of parent involvement financially in the student's personal life. We talked about the different types of aid. Here's where you can apply for some of them. You may already be familiar with FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. We also have the California DREAM Act. This form allows undocumented and non-resident documented students to apply for and receive private scholarships funded through public universities, state-administered financial aid, university grants, and Cal Grants. One important thing to note is if you are eligible to file for FAFSA, you will not qualify for the California DREAM Act and vice versa. Next, let's talk about dates and deadlines for CSU. Please note that the dates shared are specifically for fall applicants, as this is the typical transfer season for most students. While the requirements are the same for spring transfers, the dates will vary greatly. We aren't going to be able to go over each individual deadline, but if you take a quick look, you'll notice how many of these tasks are marked as varies or ASAP. Each CSU will have their own dates and deadlines, so it's important to check out their website or your student applicant portal after you apply. You may also notice that some universities have additional tasks, however, these listed here are the most common. Now let's take a look at UC's dates and deadlines. Similar to the last slide, the dates shared are specifically for fall applicants and spring dates will vary. Notice on this list, each task has a specific due date. That's because the universities and the UC system have all agreed on these deadlines, which makes it easier for students to track their tasks. Before we move to the next slide, students should also consider supplemental applications, accommodations, housing, and orientation registration deadlines for both the CSU and UC systems. The dates and deadlines for these are not listed as they vary from university to university. Now let's talk about how to apply. But before doing so, we'd like to reiterate the importance of meeting with your counselor. They will help you ensure you're transfer ready for the specific majors and universities you're hoping to apply to. Not all universities have the same requirements, and your counselor can work with you to determine the right classes to take to stay on track for your educational goals. You can schedule an appointment with them through your Sierra Connect. As for information you'll need in order to apply, there's multiple things you'll need to know or have on hand listed here. But if you're missing something, you can always save your application and come back later. Once you've prepared, it's time to start your application. The links to apply for both systems are linked here. And keep in mind, no matter how many CSUs you're applying to, you only have to complete one application and choose the CSUs you want to send it to. All the UCs share one application, meaning if you're applying to universities in both the CSU and UC systems, you'll only need to complete two applications, no matter how many of the universities you're applying to. Now that you know where to go to apply, let's talk about resources to help you get started. Let's start with resources for the CSU application. First is the Cal State Apply tutorial series, which gives an in-depth walkthrough of the application. This is a great resource for students wanting step-by-step self-help guidance. As an alternative, students can use the Cal State Apply Transfer Application Guide. This gives a brief walkthrough of the application and is helpful for students needing assistance with the technical side of the application. Lastly, students may find the Cal State Apply Help Center useful. Here you can find tips and information for each section of the application. This is a good place to go if you just need simple clarification on specific sections. Now let's get into the UC resources. The UC admissions website has a ton of information students may find helpful, including information about dates and deadlines, how to fill out the application, how applications are reviewed, tips for the personal insight questions, and what to do after applying. This is a great website for students looking for general assistance with the application and application process. Students may also find the UC application guide helpful. It offers a fairly in-depth walkthrough of the application and is a great option for students needing help with the technical side. Lastly, for UC is the UC application help bar in the application itself. This help bar offers quick tips for each section of the application and is a great place to reference for simple clarifications on specific sections. So, you know where to apply and some resources to help you through the application, but there are a few more things that we would like to share. First would be application fees. It does cost $70 per CSU campus and $80 per UC campus you're applying to. That said, you might qualify for fee waivers. Fee waivers are provided based on the financial information entered into the application, and you can qualify for up to 4 within each system. We also recommend you don't wait until the last minute to start your application. Generally, universities are firm in their deadlines. The last few years are an exception due to COVID, and often won't give grace if there are issues with the website or problems with internet connection. Also, starting early in the application period allows you time to get any questions answered that you may have and time to schedule an application review if you are interested in one. And of course, keep an eye on your email. The universities will send you important information about upcoming deadlines and next steps to the email you enter into your application. Be sure to check your inbox and even spam or junk folders frequently to ensure you aren't missing anything. As we wrap up this session, we wanted to share who to contact if you have any questions throughout your transfer process. Our department, Career and Transfer Connections, can help with the technical side of the application and general questions about the application process. Counselors can give academic guidance for planning courses, choosing a campus, and selecting a program of concentration, as well as confirming transfer eligibility. University representatives do all the above, plus they're able to speak to students about any campus-specific questions they may have. Thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of your day.